Hello and welcome back to our channel. After having looked at the ORAN Alliance approach, philosophy, timelines, and detailed internal architecture, we will now do an overview of ORAN Technical Steering Committee and the work groups. While we have discussed the architecture in detail in the last video, we are going to use this reference architecture for this particular video. It helps us lay out the information in an easier way to help you understand better. Let's start with an overview of Technical Steering Committee or TSC. The TSC decides or gives guidance on ORAN technical topics and approves ORAN specifications prior to the board approval and publication. The TSC consists of member representatives and the technical work group co-chairs representing both members and contributors. Within the TSC, there are 10 work groups, 4 focus groups, open source community, and minimum viable plan committee. Some of these are new additions, so they have been shown in red. Anyway, let us start looking at all of them one by one. Let's start with the work groups. Work Group 1 or WG1 is the use cases and overall architecture work group. It has the overall responsibility for the ORAN architecture and use cases. It identifies tasks to be completed within the scope of the architecture and use cases and assigns task group leads to drive these tasks to completion while working across other ORAN work groups. WG2 is the non-real-time RAN intelligent controller and A1 interface workgroup. The primary goal of non-RT-RIC is to support non-real-time intelligent radio resource management, higher layer procedure optimization, policy optimization in RAN, and provide AI ML models to near real-time RIC. WG3 is the near real-time RIC and E2 interface workgroup. The focus of this workgroup is to define an architecture based on near real-time RAN intelligent controller, which enables near real-time control and optimization of RAN elements and resources via fine-grained data collection and actions over E2 interface. WG4 is the Open Fronthaul Interfaces workgroup. The objective of this workgroup is to deliver truly open fronthaul interfaces in which multi-vendor DU, RU interoperability can be realized. The objective of Workgroup 5 is to provide fully operable multi-vendor profile specifications compliant with the 3GPP specifications for F1, W1, E1, X2, and XN interfaces. If a limitation is discovered, then this workgroup will propose 3GPP specification enhancements. It should be noted that X2 is a fundamental interface that is needed for Open RAN 4G or LTE networks to work seamlessly. We made a video on the topic, so please check it out. Workgroup 6 is the cloudification and orchestration workgroup that seeks to drive the decoupling of RAN software from the underlying hardware platforms. It also aims to produce technology and reference designs that would allow commodity hardware platforms to be leveraged for all parts of a RAN deployment, including the CU and the DU. Workgroup 7 is the white box hardware workgroup, whose objective is to specify and release a complete reference design to foster a decoupled software and hardware platform. The promotion of open reference design hardware is a potential way to reduce the cost of 5G deployment that will benefit both the operators and vendors. Workgroup 8 is the Stack Reference Design workgroup, whose aim is to develop the software architecture, design, and release plan for ORAN Central Unit (OCU) and ORAN Distributed Unit (ODU) based on the ORAN and 3GPP specifications for the NR protocol stack. Workgroup 9 is the Open Xhaul Transport Workgroup. It focuses on the transport domain consisting of transport equipment, physical media, and control and management protocols associated with the transport network. Finally, we have the Workgroup 10, which is the OAM Working Group. The workgroup is responsible for the OAM requirements, OAM architecture, and the O1 interface. All these activities were part of Workgroup 1 earlier, but has now been moved to Workgroup 10 after its formation. So this is the summary of the 10 ORAN Alliance workgroups. In addition, there are 4 focus groups. Focus groups deal with the topics that are overarching the technical workgroups or are relevant for the whole organization. The Standard Development Focus Group or SDFG plays the leading role on working out the standardization strategies of ORAN Alliance and is the main interface to other standard development organizations that are relevant for ORAN work. It also coordinates incoming and outgoing liaison statements. The Test and Integration Focus Group or TIFG defines ORAN's overall approach for testing and integration, including coordination of test specifications across various work groups. This may include creating end-to-end test and integration specifications, profiles to facilitate ORAN productization, operationalization, and commercialization, approaches to meet general requirements, and specifications of processes for performing integration and solution verification. The TIFG plans and coordinates the ORAN Alliance's Plugfests and sets guidelines for the third-party Open Test and Integration Centers known as OTICs. Back in October last year, the ORAN Alliance successfully conducted its second worldwide Plugfest and proof of concept to demonstrate the functionality as well as the multi-vendor interoperability of ORAN-based network equipment. You can see the press release on the ORAN Alliance website. For this Plugfest, a total of 55 companies came together at 4 venues across Asia, Europe, and North America to deal with the functional interoperability and performance challenges of the ORAN ecosystem. Open Testing and Integration Centers or OTICs provided a collaborative, open, and impartial working environment for testing and integration with guidance from TIFG. The Open Source Focus Group or OSFG is responsible for dealing with open source related issues for ORAN Alliance. Its responsibility includes the planning, preparation, and establishment of an ORAN open source community, development of open source related strategy, and coordination with other open source communities, etc. The biggest task that OSFG has accomplished was the successful launch of the ORAN software community, and as a result, OSFG now remains in a dormant mode. Finally, the Security Focus Group or SFG focuses on security aspects of the Open RAN ecosystem. It collects the security requirements and solutions from all other work groups, negotiates as necessary to ensure uniform requirements and designs amongst the relevant work groups, thereby ensuring a standardized security architecture, specifies security requirements, architectures, and frameworks in a support of open interfaces defined by other ORAN workgroups, and finally, it publishes security guidelines that spans across the entire ORAN architecture. Then we have OSC or Open Source Community. We discussed in the ORAN timeline video that preliminary discussions with Linux Foundation started as early as April of 2018. In October of 2018, Open Source Focus Group was formed within ORAN Alliance. Finally, on the 2nd of April 2019, the ORAN software community was officially set up. The OSC is a collaboration between ORAN Alliance and Linux Foundation with the mission to support the creation of software for the Radio Access Network or RAN. As we have discussed this in the ORAN timeline video, I am not going to go through the details here. Currently active OSC projects at a glance. So for anyone interested, all the relevant information is available on the ORAN wiki. The final item of TSC is the Minimum Viable Plan Committee. ORAN specifications have been driven by bottom-up initiatives from each work groups, guided by ORAN baseline architecture. We can represent it like this. On the other hand, Minimum Viable Plan provides top-down coordination of the priority list of work items cross working groups based on operator survey, prioritized use cases, TIFG blueprints, and OSC progress. We can represent it like this. What the Minimum Viable Plan Committee does is that it enables an integral process which is efficient, effective, and sustainable in the ORAN TSC. Internally, MVP enables ORAN Alliance to more effectively coordinate the work to enable valuable use cases in a timely manner. Externally, MVP provides a clear view to the ecosystem on ORAN roadmap and priorities. So all that I described can be represented in this flowchart here. This was shared in one of the ORAN Alliance presentations. Back in March, the ORAN Alliance announced the first release of the MVP, which included already published specifications and additional work items in the following areas: Open Fronthaul, Open Transport, Open Hardware, OpenStack, Open Cloud, and OTIX. The idea is that subsequent ORAN releases will extend the MVP with additional features and functionalities based on continuing surveys and updates of the operator's deployment priorities. So this was the ORAN Technical Steering Committee and work groups in brief. In the next few videos, I am planning to go through each of the work groups and their deliverables. As always, feel free to let us know what you think. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching and see you again soon. Goodbye.